First place.
Citizens, be extra careful. PlayStation's WipEout is now on the streets. Don't let it moose your mind.
Hello, welcome to this latest episode of the Electronic Eggs Eggstra podcast. This time we're talking about the WipEout series, the video game series, not that TV show in America where people get knocked off of balls and things like that, unfortunately. So if that was what you're here for, you can turn it off now. Otherwise, you can listen to us wax lyrical about Psygnosis' great series of games. So, joining me to talk about WipEout, we have the other Chris Smith.
Hello.
Barry McGuigan.
Hello?
Not the boxer.
No.
Nope. And Danny Major.
Hello.
So, guys, we'll go through a quick history of the series. So the WipEout series originally started, as everyone knows, on the 29th of September in 1995. The games managed to run until the year 2021, which people will be like, huh? But there was a mobile game that came out called WipEout. Oh, God, what was the name of the WipEout game that was on mobile? I forget. WipEout Merge, which was like a WipEout management style racing game.
There was a weird run of that kind of thing, wasn't there? I sort of blame our type tactics for that.
But
so these
I
aren't
did
games
play
you
it
expect
recently.
to be bundled together. Yeah.
No.
For the most disappointing thing
recently.
ever. It just, it ruined my
Although
idea.
I'm glad they did that and not tried to make a WipEout game for the iPhone. Although there was a really good one years ago. I can't remember the name of it. It was an anti-grav game on iPhone, which is really cool, but it's not supported anymore because they didn't update it for when they changed it to 64-bit. So yeah, not 64-bit like the N64, but real 64 bits.
Like the Jaguar.
So anyway, like the Jaguar, yes, the real 64-bit machine. 20 years ahead of its time. So the WipEout series then obviously started with the first game, WipEout, which went on to have a sequel, WipEout 2097, followed by the Nintendo 64 exclusive, WipEout 64, then WipEout 3, WipEout 3 Special Edition, WipEout Fusion, WipEout Pure, WipEout Pulse, WipEout HD, then WipEout HD Fury, WipEout 2048, then the WipEout Amiga collection, which was the Vita game plus the PS3 game. So that's the rundown of the series. But the series was originally conceived whilst they were sitting in a pub and talking about how to create this game that they wanted. They knew they wanted it to be a futuristic racing game, but the conversation that they had in the pub ended up being, we want to make this game. We want it to be like an anti-gravity game. We can use some of the elements from Matrix Marauder, which was a game Psygnosis did on the Amiga. Anyone play that one?
Yeah.
What's an Amiga?
How dare you?
I just arrive here to make friends.
The best things are come up with in the pub, though, isn't it? I mean, everything, whether it's like comedy ideas or games or even the beginning of reconstructions and Crime Watch of failed bank heists, that all start in the pub.
Yeah, the name WipEout was decided upon during the same pub conversation and was inspired by the instrumental song Wipeout by the Safaris, the that one.
The surfing song.
Yeah.
So that's where was I? Oh yeah, Nick Burkham. He liked the idea of having contemporary British dance music in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he came to this while he was playing Super Mario Kart and listening to The Prodigy at the same time. And he realised that he wanted to make a game with that sort of music, but also a racing game. So we have Super Mario Kart and The Prodigy to thank for WipEout sounding the way that it did.
Quite a mix, that.
Yeah. Obviously, Sony acquired Psygnosis in 1995 and later renamed the studio to Studio Liverpool. which would happen in the early 2000s, which was a tragedy as we then lost Psygnosis as a brand, which is very disappointing as they were so instrumental in a lot of the things that I liked growing up. So, moving on then, we'll go to our histories of our time with the game. So, we'll start with you, Baz. How did you first come across the WipEout series?
So when I got my PlayStation, I got it a couple of months after launch in the UK, and I borrowed a copy of WipEout off one of my classmates, and that was when I first played it. I mean, I played the demo disc, the demo one. That had the first track on that, and I think Official PlayStation Magazine had a workaround that you could play track 2 with a bit of clever disc swapping on the demo disc and the video disc. I think it was a video of track 2, so there was a way that you could actually play those. So I played those quite a bit before actually borrowing the copy, and then managed to finish the first class Venom of WipEout within the first couple of days, but I never actually got to finish Rapier before I handed it back. And then WipEout 2097 kind of bypassed me for a couple of years until I think it was PlayStation Platinum, whenever they were starting to release the games for 20 quid.
They started those quite early, but
Yeah.
they were doing those in 1996. But I think the WipEout 2097 on Platinum would have been in early 97.
Yeah, I picked it up when I was at uni, 2097, and I remember playing it for absolutely ages, much to the chagrin of my then girlfriend, as I was just playing that constantly. But it was fantastic. Just a game as synonymous with uni.
Did you stick with the series after 2097?
I did, all the way through. So the only one I've not played is WipEout 64 because I didn't have a Nintendo 64 or even access to one. But WipEout 3 was pretty much within the month it was released. WipEout Fusion, I sidestepped for a wee while, probably the black sheep of the entire series, in my opinion. Pure and Pulse, I picked up as soon as I got the PSP. HD Fury, day one. 2048, I was a launch title for the Vita, and I picked that up day one, and same with the Omega Collection. So pretty much as soon as they were coming out, after being exposed to 2097, they were all day one for me, and still would be if they ever released a new one.
Cool. And Chris, what about you?
I'm like mildly concerned I might have continuity errors with the last episode I was on. Not only can I not remember exactly my timeline, I can't even remember what I said on that one. So I know I was trying to work out my timeline. See, I probably was playing the same demo as Baz from the sounds of it on the PlayStation, but it was the Saturn version of the original game that I played most of. But again, it was a friend's, it wasn't mine, so I was only dabbling. But I didn't properly get into it until 2097. Again, I think it was a pick it up because once that Platinum range appeared, being able to have a game at a point when it wasn't your birthday or Christmas was a thing. So I got that then. And I remember I was playing it quite a lot with Mad Catz multi-format wheel and pedals. My dad built me a setup in the loft with the seat out of a Mini. And one of those
hardcore. That's insane.
With
really
one
cool.
One of those wheels, and it was worked on my PlayStation and Saturn. I played a lot of WipEout 2097 and Porsche Challenge with it, and then Sega Rally on the Saturn. Apparently, it also worked on an N64, but I'm not sure what one of those is, so who knows. So played a lot of that. I never got the third one when it first came out. I think I had a copy of it later when, I had a dubious PlayStation and 4 million games for it. So I probably loaded it up at some point, but I never properly got into it. And I think the next run, I played the PSP games a little bit. But again, I think I had a copy of like an original UMD of Pure and then a modded thing that was just flashed. But again, I got a launch Vita with 2048. That was why I bought the Vita. My PS3 I bought because Wipeout HD was coming, and so I've pretty much been full into it from that. And the PSVR was significantly a reason of having that was because you could play Wipeout in it. But again, I did play quite a bit of Wipeout 64 later on when I discovered what an N64 was about 3 years after it was dead. And I think that's wildly underrated, which I think we possibly discussed previously. And I didn't really have a PS2. I think I had a PS2 for about 2 months. I'd never played Fusion until recently, and I think Black Sheep is probably a generous way to describe it. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much my run through.
Cool. And Danny?
Yeah, I think it was maybe Christmas '95. So Wipeout come out. Was it November '95 in the UK?
No, it was
The only
September.
reason, yeah, I think the only reason I wanted a PlayStation was because of Wipeout. There was no other reason I would. I was still playing Super Famicom, SNES, and all that. I was quite heavy getting cheap Japanese games at the time, and I played this demo around someone's house, and it had that on, and I was just blown away because at the time I was listening to like Left Field in Orbit or Chemical Brothers, that sort of thing. Obviously, being a big Prodigy fan, I just loved the logos and stuff like that. And I thought, this is insane. It's so fast, and yeah, I managed to get a PlayStation that Christmas and Wipeout, and yeah, so that was where it started. I didn't stop playing that for about 6 months, so that I played nothing else at all until Resident Evil came out. Nothing, just that game. Um, then obviously 2097 came out. I bought that, which just absolutely blew everything away. Took me a while to get used to, so I've been playing Wipeout for so long. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely loved that. Didn't stop playing that. And obviously Wipeout 3 come out in, when was that, 99 or 2000?
99.
99,
It was
yeah.
99, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so I think I left school by then, so it must have been in the summer when I left. Yeah, and I bought it.
Special edition
one
was
of my,
2000.
I did get that as well, yep. So, yeah, after, I mean, I love Wipeout 3, by the way. I mean, people kind of say it's not as good as 2097, but I just absolutely love it. So after that, I kind of skipped the PlayStation 2 entries. Now, this just, I think we touched on this before. I didn't like the box art, so I didn't buy it.
Yeah, the
I
box
just thought
art
that's
is
crap.
absolutely terrible on
Yeah, I thought that's
on the
crap.
Fusion.
I've gone off that game now. And I just ignored it. And I continued to play Wipeout 2097 and Wipeout 3 and trying to beat my times and stuff. I eventually picked, is it Fusion PS2 one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I eventually picked it up, and it's too polished. I can't explain it. It's just too polished. I think it lost some charm there. But around the same time as that came out, I managed to get Wipeout on the Amiga from someone from CD-ROM.
2097, because that was the one that came out
Yeah,
on the Amiga, wasn't it?
yeah. Someone had ordered it from a magazine and didn't want it anymore, so I'll give this a go. And at the time, I had a nifty Amiga setup. I haven't got that now. I've lost it, which I'm absolutely gutted about.
Yeah, that was so
Then,
limited as well.
yeah.
In terms of numbers.
I would absolutely kill for a copy now. Not literally kill, but I would love a copy just to say I've got it. Then I moved on to the PSP games, which I absolutely loved. One of the reasons I bought a PSP was because of Wipeout Pure. Was it Pulse? Whatever the first one was.
Pure was first,
Yeah. So then I moved on to Wipeout Fury HD, which is just astonishing. It still is. Still one of the best looking games ever made. And that's where it kind of ended. I did buy the Omega collection for the PS4, but I honestly I ended up going back to playing 2097 again and Wipeout 3. I just missed it, so I just didn't touch it really. I just went back to the PlayStation and played them. And that's the history of Wipeout and me.
But we'll move on to some of the listener feedback from this before I go on to mine. This is from someone called Gaz. I first played Wipeout after I dropped a pill at a mate's house. The music and the visuals made it the best trip I've ever had. Ben.
That's somebody
Ben
that needs
writes,
to play some Jeff Minter stuff.
yeah. He should have tried Tempest 2000 at the same time. Yeah. His mind would have literally blown. Ben writes, Wipeout was the first game I ever played. I was 19 years old and my girlfriend at the time went out with her mates, but I was staying at her house. So I ended up playing Wipeout on her brother's PlayStation. Needless to say, I liked gaming from that point. I ended up buying a PlayStation the following weekend with Wipeout 2097. So, yeah, he wasn't even a gamer until he played Wipeout. Yeah. So the best thing his girlfriend did was go out that night, wasn't it? And leave him behind. Yeah. Travis writes, I have bittersweet memories of the original Wipeout. My older brother, who was 17 at the time, let me use his PlayStation one evening when I was 14. I thought it was strange as he never allowed me to touch his stuff. But he had invited his girlfriend over, as our parents were out for the evening. Needless to say, they got a bit loud, and if you know what I mean. So I put Wipeout on, cranked up the volume to drown out the noise, though I think my race was longer than my brother's performance. Despite this horrific memory coming back to me, I remember thinking games would never be as good as Wipeout. To stop me from telling my parents what I had heard, he'd let me use his PlayStation every other evening. Adam writes, the Wipeout demo on Demo 1 was the very first PlayStation thing I played. Absolutely blew my mind. So, yeah, some interesting takes there on Wipeout.
And some insight into who is listening to us.
And who, yeah, degenerates.
Yeah.
For me, though, I think I said this on the last episode of when we spoke about PlayStation. I played Wipeout at a nightclub in Cambridge called The Junction when I was 16. That was when I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I think I said in the last one as well, even though I had a Saturn and things, I had drifted off gaming and didn't think it was going to be around forever for me. I thought, no, I think I'm getting too old for games now. But when I played Wipeout, I was like, I think there's something in this. I think
Can't wait to talk about this in 20 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
30.
I'm assuming you've been talking about it for longer.
I talk about Wipeout every day. I think people just get annoyed with me for doing it, just walking up. I walk around the streets and try and preach the good word. But
that's who you are then. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I played Wipeout originally then on the PlayStation at this nightclub, which was probably about 2 weeks before the PlayStation launched. I want to say because it was early September. I remember because it was my first ever time going to a nightclub. And
so night out.
Well, it was one of those ones. It was one of those nightclubs back in the day when they had the evening for the younger people, so the under 18s, and it finished at like 10 o'clock. So your parents were still up to be able to come pick you up.
I mean, things were different if you were in Cambridge.
Things were different in Cambridge. And so I didn't get a PlayStation straight away. I did buy Wipeout on the Saturn. Didn't like it on the Saturn at all. So I thought, oh, maybe this isn't good. And then I eventually did get a PlayStation and bought Wipeout straight away, and then Wipeout 2097. I also triple dipped on Wipeout 2097 because I did get it on PC and on the Saturn. The Saturn version is analog compatible with the 3D pad on Saturn, which makes it much better to play than the PS1 version, because you have to have the Negcon to do analog on the PlayStation. But it suffers from the fact that it doesn't have the licensed music that's in the PlayStation version, and has a bit of pop in. The draw distance isn't as good or anything like that, but it does play better on Saturn, which I know is like heresy for someone to say.
But should end this podcast right now, to be fair.
But it is true. I had an N64 and I picked up Wipeout 64 on that. Really, really loved Wipeout 64. I never played it in 4-player, despite the fact that you could play it split screen.
I think I suspect the frame rate's dreadful now, but I think if people have forgiven GoldenEye, then everybody should forgive Wipeout.
Yeah, but they made sacrifices because it was running really well by reducing the draw distance and things like that, like they do with the Saturn version, to make cuts there to keep the frame rate up. So it was a decent game to play, and like I say, I'd say that's probably better than the Saturn version of 2097, because this is the sequel to 2097. It's set in the year 2098, and it does handle a lot better than it does on PlayStation and Saturn as well.
It was years after, but it plays really well.
Yeah, it does. It's a really, really good game. It would be cool to see that on Switch Online if they.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see that. I mean, one of my favorite things to upset Nintendo people is to ask them their top 3 N64 games and then reveal that mine are Wipeout 64, Ridge Racer 64, and Robotron 64.
Robotron 64 is up there for me. I absolutely love Robotron 64.
It's amazing.
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. Wipeout 64 is in my top 3 Nintendo 64 games, like hands down.
So I told you, sometimes we get on, Chris, and sometimes we don't. Today is a good day.
That's why I chose Wipeout.
The fact that they've put Eggstra 64 on Switch Online does give you hope with Wipeout 64.
Yeah.
I mean, what was there much licensed tracks, if any, on Wipeout 64?
No, none. It was all in-house music. Yeah.
So that's probably what's stopping them from putting Wipeout on PS Plus on the classics at the minute. It would be the licensed music, which is a real shame. Real shame.
Yeah, I've Wipeout 3 I then got on PlayStation. Absolutely loved that, and the fact that it had analog control as well was absolutely brilliant. I do prefer the more sort of grungy, grimy look to 2097. I do like that look and that whole aesthetic for that game. But there's something really nice about how clean Wipeout 3 is. I don't know if you get what I mean by that.
It's not over the top. It's just pushing that system to its limits. It's not as industrial as the first two.
No,
but it looks good. It looks really good, and it plays amazingly as well. So and the
soundtrack as well, which was arranged by Sasha, wasn't it? And it's really, really good as well. But the thing with that is that, like with the soundtrack for 2097, it really matches that industrial, grimy feel.
Yeah.
And then you go into Wipeout 3, and it does match that more clean look to it with the soundtrack, especially with like Exploder. Is it Exploder?
Yes. No. Yeah. I can't remember what it's bloody called now. I was listening to it on the way home just to get myself in the mood, really.
Yeah, it's like 7.5 minutes long. It's fantastic. You don't even get through it when you're playing a race. But then Expander, that's it. There we go.
Absolutely love that tune. Yeah.
And Special Edition was really cool, adding some more tracks and things to it. It was kind of like DLC before DLC was a thing. Absolutely brilliant. I then bought Fusion day one, despite reading the Edge 5 out of 10 review, and PlayStation Magazine I think gave it a 6 as well. And I was like, but it's Wipeout. It's going to be good. Like,
such a shame.
And then I played it, and I was like, oh no, this is shit.
I mean, I felt like it was the second I was choosing the captain that I felt like it was going wrong.
Yeah. But it's not just that. It's like when you get into the races and the tracks are like super wide.
Yes.
And you're like, this is too much.
I think it was the first time I got lost on a Wipeout.
Yeah. And like the visuals had no defining feature, whereas it didn't look industrial. It didn't look nice and clean and futuristic. It just looked like a blur game. It was
like a Tesco budget title.
Yeah,
that's how I perceived it, especially with the front cover, the stupid artwork on it. I just thought that's dead in the water. Then I read the review and I see the cover and thought, oh, that's dumb. So
Designers Republic weren't even part of that. We were part of Wipeout 1, 2097, Wipeout 3, and I think elements of it was in 64. But Wipeout Fusion didn't have Designers Republic, so the whole aesthetic.
I don't think it had designers on it, like at all.
I think it was Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles.
It was just a mess. The whole point of Wipeout is Designers Republic, and that industrial stroke futurism type feel.
It does have
Yeah,
one
yeah.
redeeming feature. One redeeming
Mm.
feature of Wipeout Fusion. It introduced zone mode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, and
Yeah.
then it needs kudos for that.
Yeah.
Mm.
But the
yeah.
tracks were shit to be able to do
Yeah.
in zone.
I mean,
as
it's
well.
just slightly worse than High Octane.
Oh, Jesus. Hell.
I'm so glad that they did Extreme G3 on PS2. So at least there was something decent to play for a futuristic racer.
Mm.
Because otherwise it was slim pickings. But yeah, so I moved into when I was at Sony. I got the PSP given to me with a copy of Wipeout Pure, which was great, and I adored Pure. I don't think I stopped playing that game for about a year.
No.
Literally just non-stop playing it, even though you got through it really quickly because there's only a few championships in it.
Yeah.
I just would delete my save, go back, do it again, and just constantly do it, and just listen to the soundtrack as well, which had cold storage back and things. It was just absolutely amazing, and it had a look between 3 and 2097.
Mm.
If you get what I mean, it looked like it wasn't quite Wipeout 3, it wasn't quite 2097. It had this beautiful cleanness and crispness to it. But the tracks, the designs of the tracks were absolutely phenomenal. Like they were just, oh man, I love Pure. Then I got Pulse, and I really love the career progression in Pulse.
Was it Pulse that introduced the grid?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was in yeah.
And that was where I started going, oh yeah, okay, this is going to last me ages. And then they kept doing free DLC for it as well. So which is cool, which can't get now, which is really disappointing. But there was loads of free DLC. So if in the game, it would just be released. You wouldn't know. They never told you. You just go into the DLC and you go and grab it, download it, because there was no storefront on the PSP at that point. I don't think with Pulse. So it was all from in-game, and then later it was on the store. But it was so good, and it was all free as well, which was amazing. Like getting some more tracks and some more vehicles, and it was absolutely brilliant. And then obviously they remade both of those games with Wipeout HD and Fury, but Fury they added more to the game, with lots of the things like Detonator and with being able to go back on the track, so you could steer into the other races, which was really, really cool. So if you had a heat-seeking missile and everyone's behind you, you'd spin round, shoot them, or shoot rockets at them, or shoot the Quake in the other direction as well.
That was
so
I used to love doing that.
Yeah.
Quake was probably the best weapon in the entire series.
Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, one thing about Wipeout 3, it was one of the few games to support 16:9 and high resolution mode whilst maintaining frame rate on PS1.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah,
which
it was.
is
In
really
fact,
cool.
it was the only, wasn't it, that was releasing.
Yeah. And apparently that's why it doesn't work on PS3. So, whereas Wipeout 3 Special Edition cuts that out. So they get rid of that in Wipeout 3 Special Edition, and that does run on a PS3, which is why prices of Wipeout 3 Special Edition have skyrocketed on eBay, whereas Wipeout 3 is like £2 because they're like, well, I can't play this.
They're about 120 quid at the moment. I'm going to ask for one for Christmas because mine unfortunately got lost. So I've been thinking about it recently. I would like that for Christmas.
I've still got mine, luckily, but I have Wipeout 3 as well. But I can't play it on anything at the moment. And then obviously moving on from there, it was the Wipeout 2048, which I first played at the PlayStation Vita event that I went to. And I was a bit worried when I first started playing it because the controls were a bit odd. I don't know if you remember when you first played Wipeout 2048, you have to then go straight into the settings and change the controls to classic.
The game completely bypassed me because I didn't own a Vita at all. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember... I remember turning to Amy McNamara because she was there and saying, "Why are the controls shit?" And she laughed and said, "Oh, there is a way to play it properly, but for some reason Sony wanted this out to be played like this on display." And I was like, "What, to turn off Wipeout fans?"
It's just weird.
But yeah, as soon as I switched it to classic controls, I was like, "Oh, thank God, this game's good." I was so worried after Fusion, and because they hadn't done like a proper new one, like on that sort of budget for a long time, so I was like, "Yeah, this has to be good." And then obviously Wipeout Omega Collection, which is just 2048 plus HD and Fury. I still play that to this day, and I have been playing it today in VR, and I can't get over just how much I love that game in VR. It's what Wipeout should be. Like, it should be in VR. It's just amazing to play. And the fact that they've changed the vehicle, I was saying this to Chris earlier, so they redesigned the vehicles just for the VR game. So once you've put the headset on, the game knows that it's in VR mode. So it changes your crafts designs so that there's like these noses pointing out the side of the vehicle. So when you're in the cockpit, you've got something to anchor your eyes to. Because if that's not there, you'll get terrible motion sickness. Like if you played, I don't know if you've played Drive Club in VR, but if you do that in the first person view, it's like you just want to vomit.
Is it really called playing Drive Club if in the first 90 seconds you've got to rip the headset off just to go and be sick? I don't think that really is playing. But what Wipeout does, as you said, keeping that cockpit sort of steady in front of you, and it's like the outside swirls around it, so your focus is on there. So I didn't feel it. But the main menu screen of Wipeout in VR, oh my God.
Awesome. It's like you're it's like you're there in this space.
It slows down and the craft just goes right over your head. I think I just sat there for about 10 minutes watching this and going, this is amazing. If they
It was
bring
kind
out
of a
VR
masterpiece,
2,
wasn't it? Of adding VR to a game when there were various people doing different things. If you get one level, or you get this little bit, or you pay this amount to get it. When it was just like, oh, have you got Wipeout and VR? Here you go. Here's the entire game in VR. Absolutely incredible. Just meant I never went back and played it flat again.
Yeah, I still play it flat as well, but it's only because I can't sometimes be bothered to set up the headset. Because setting up a PlayStation VR, the first version of PlayStation VR, is so painful, and it's horrible. I do not like setting it up. But like they did fix it for VR too, but they haven't made it backwards compatible because they are robbing bastards. Yeah. So, quick one, we'll go to our social medias. Games you loved, wrote. It's funny, I was just playing this on my OG PlayStation. Putting that disc in brought back some great memories. The music was incredible as much as the speed. Midlife crisis / retro gaming. I saw it on a TV show, but in real life it was in Dixon, set up on a PlayStation demo stand. I finally got it for myself Christmas '96 along with my Saturn, and I was delighted. It didn't run as well as the PS1, but I was a kid. Frame rates were not part of my vocabulary. M.J.P. Says, PlayStation 1. The music was on another level for a computer game. And Tisson Doom. I played it a few times on a demo disc, and then I played the full game. So, I want to then ask you guys, what do you think it was that made Wipeout make Wipeout what it was? Like, what were the ingredients that you felt really made it stand out? So, you can just jump in.
Yeah, no, you can say the music. I want to talk about Wipeout 1. But so this is really daft. I had a thing about Crystal Maze and that kind of, the industrial zone, all that. That type of thing at the time, and I was interested in graphic design at school and things like that, and that type of music, and listening to Orbital Prodigy. And I wasn't expecting this game I didn't even know the game was coming out until I played it on that demo disc, and I was just absolutely blown away. And it kind of, I was into that whole futurism type thing at the time, with music and films and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Just learning how to use the internet and, being Carter 95 and stuff like that. Just so
My
it was just
maze.
things like that. It was something from a film. It wasn't Mario Kart, put it that way. I'd spent years playing Super Mario Kart and absolutely loved that game. But Wipeout kind of, it sounds odd, it just took it to the next level. It transported you into the future. That's the only way to explain it. It was absolutely insane. Obviously, Designers Republic doing all this stuff. It was absolutely amazing. It was just, I'm still blown away by it now. When I play it now, it kind of reminds me of being a teenager and kind of sort of that mid-90s vibe with the music and grunge and sort of, just techno and jungle I was listening to at the time. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
For me, I
yeah,
thought it felt like gaming had grown up with that one game. It was like a
yeah,
game
yeah.
that had this appeal that was beyond Mario or Sonic or things like that. It was something that was drawing people in that didn't play games anymore, or people who
Yeah.
would look at it and go, "Oh, that looks interesting," then play it and then smack into the sides a few times and
Yeah,
then turn
yeah,
it off.
yeah.
I mean, it had the substance to back us up, but an
Yeah,
element of what made it work was
Mm.
absolutely incredible marketing. Like,
oh yeah,
Yes.
we went with
Yeah.
the PlayStation in general, the team behind all of that, but putting it in nightclubs when that was the music and the aesthetic was obviously genius. But that, and it helps obviously that the game is phenomenal. I mean, I joked about High Octane, which I had fun with, but if High Octane was the same game but with the graphics and the music of Wipeout, it might have got the initial appeal, but it wouldn't have had the lasting thing. It's the fact that it's a fantastic game that's really well balanced. Slightly iffy hitboxes in the original game notwithstanding, but fortunately it did well enough that they were able to fix that later.
But
yeah.
also as well, Psygnosis had such a great track record, so late 80s, early 90s, with just
Yeah.
genre-defining games of like their time. So like Lemons and Shadow of the Beast being more of a graphical masterpiece. So with them launching a new series on a new console, it's very much a UK-based developer that it grabs the attention for people over here, and that twinned with, as you say, the music soundtrack, Danny, of that era.
Yeah.
Just Chemical Brothers, Left Field, Orbital,
Mm.
contributing tracks to it. And when you see it, you're almost like just taken just completely breathless. When you see it on Games Master, when Dominic Diamond was presenting it for the first time, you're going, "This looks amazing. This is just, I want more. I want more of this."
Yeah, I think what you're saying with the music that's what makes it a very British game, and the fact that it didn't sell very well anywhere else in the world. Even the rest of I think it sold well in Germany and France, but I don't think it sold very well anywhere else in Europe, because I think Germany, France, and the UK had a very similar musical style at the time, and that's shown with the artists as well. There's loads of great German electronic musicians as well as French at the time.
Does the German version have David Hasselhoff tracks on it?
No, they have a very good industrial music scene, actually, Baz. They don't just have David Hasselhoff anymore.
I mean, I do understand that the German version of Fusion does have David Hasselhoff as one of the playable captains. I think that's a fact I've definitely made up just now.
They might as well put Hitler in there. It's so bad.
I mean, Germany. I mean, they had obviously Sven Väth or Vath, whatever you want to call him at the time, and things like that. And France with was it Laurent Garnier and stuff like that. So I mean, they loved their music. They still do. I don't think this game went down well in America. I don't know what the sales figures are, but I just know it wasn't their type of thing.
I
The
mean,
marketing wouldn't have worked. Do you know
I
what
read
I mean?
on, I think it was just on Wikipedia, so I don't know if it's true, so I didn't bring it up when we were first talking. The fact that you've got the effectively tech demo Wipeout that's featured in the Hackers film.
Yeah.
And the story that's on there is, like I say, it feels like it might be a bit legend, is that Sony saw that, and that's what made them choose to publish it. But I saw it the wrong way around, so like I got massively into the Hackers film. It's still one of my favorite films, but like it was after I'd already spent a lot of time with 2097, and then spent a bit of my time in, at high school, not having the internet access that we have now, trying to find the game that involved that ball that took the wall down in that scene. But again, it's that culture thing, because the soundtrack to that movie is also incredible for very similar.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no, it's the Hackers has the feel of the game. Just the outfits, the music, the lighting, the kind of
Prodigy,
the set design.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just it's so of its time, and I think that's probably why it's not been able to maintain success. Unfortunately,
because it's just the likes of us that are still living that. Playing the new last one on our own. When I go online with it occasionally, and there's just 3 other people playing it,
and they're all around the same age.
Yeah.
No children are playing it.
No, but I am racing against Zero Cool for the 20th time.
I mean, by the time Wipeout HD Fury came out, I mean, I absolutely did not stop playing that game. I actually held, and I'll get the picture up. I'll put it on the Discord. I'll put it online.
I was going to say, put it on here. It's really good for the audio media.
Look at this. I held the world record at Talon's Junction in Venom class for over 2 months.
Amazing.
Nice.
And I kept looking, and I tried beating it. I couldn't. And one day, some Japanese guy messaged me. He said, "Oh, look," and he actually beat it. I can't remember the time or anything, but yeah, it was there for 2 months, maybe longer. I remember coming home one night, and you could put your own music on. So I was putting all different sort of trance and stuff like that, because I don't feel that the music in Wipeout HD is that great, to be fair.
Well, I was going to mention this because the PS3 did a really good job with custom soundtracks, and the game itself let you select one once you loaded them up.
Yeah.
So I had the Wipeout and 2097, and I think the Wipeout 3 one, but I'm not certain about that. Definitely the first, they're still on my hard drive, that were loaded on there. But also there was a like a free album released on the NeoGAF forums. Like Game 3.0 or something, which I played a lot of Wipeout 3 to that soundtrack. And then when we were preparing this, I went and found it, and fortunately my PS3 is in storage, but all my game music is still on a hard drive that is with my laptop, so I have been playing that a little bit. But yeah, you're right. I was thinking the music for Wipeout HD is not that memorable, and it's because I probably after the first hour never listened to it again.
Yeah, I did the same, because I put in the discs of 3, 2097 and Wipeout, and just ripped the music straight onto the PS3 hard drive.
Yeah,
and I just downloaded or someone else that had done that.
Yeah, which was great, which was a really cool thing that you could just stick in your PS1 games and rip the soundtracks.
It's amazing. Yeah.
But it was so cool because you could just go and choose between them. It was a bit ahead of its time, and I know the Xbox did some of that stuff as well, but it felt smooth how it was handled in the game specifically. It wasn't like an After Effect. It was a choose what soundtrack you want from the menu.
Yeah, because on the Xbox you would just put on an album in the background, and same with the 360, and it would just play over whatever you were doing.
And so like now we have Spotify or whatever built in, which does that, but it's not. It doesn't feel the same, does it? It feels like, this is an After Effect.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it felt purposeful.
I put a load of trance nation stuff on there, like a lot of trance music on there. It was brilliant. I come home one night, and what I used to do was just close the door. I was drunk or whatever. I just played Wipeout HD. It's like 2009, 2010, or whenever it came out. My brother had actually been into my bedroom, so I was sitting at mum and dad's. He had deleted all my music, and he had loaded Elvis Presley and Gene Pitney onto Wipeout HD.
Oh no!
I mean, I don't know what drugs he was doing, but
there's something going on, and it was Elvis and Gene Pitney, and I just remember barging into his room, screaming at him at like 2 o'clock in the morning, having a big row. Yeah, he thought it was hilarious. I did find it funny the next day, but not at the time, because it was my thing. You know what I mean?
I think I had mine on. I had mine on random tracks, and I think my son, who was 4 or 5 at the time, he was using the PS3 just to play like Cars 2 or whatever, or whatever game, that Disney ilk and that. And he was also using it as a CD player and that. And he'd learned through his mum, he learned how to upload the tracks onto it. So I got a very jarring experience playing it when I had like the instrumental of Firestarter from 2097, and it clicked straight into Bob the Builder, which really blues every single course. So I was getting nowhere near your world record, and I definitely wasn't after that.
One of the cool things Sony did for the Amiga collection was they released a spot. I think it was even curated by Cold Storage, which was like an official playlist that they put together for Wipeout. And
It's
then
still there as well.
Yeah, and they just said, here's a load of great Wipeout tracks from the past. You can put them into the game and play them in the background, which was cool. And it did the same thing as it did with Wipeout HD, with the tracks actually working at the right time when you're playing, which is really cool, rather than just going over the game. Yeah.
The other thing that was cool on Wipeout HD, which I only got to experience when I was staying with a friend in the Netherlands for a week, was they were the only people I knew that had a 3D TV.
Yes.
And it supported that.
I've played it in 3D. It's so good.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was meant to mention that. Yeah, I played it a couple of years after it came out on 3D TV, and I couldn't put it down again. I was absolutely hooked. It was amazing.
And they never charged. Like when they did the 3D update and when they did the update for VR, they didn't even charge for it.
It was superb. It just worked.
Yeah. It was so good. Yeah, because I bought one of those. Do you remember they made those little the official PS3 3D TVs?
Oh yes, no, I did see those.
Oh
yeah.
So
I think I wishlisted one as well,
those.
but never got.
Yeah. I got one of those just to put into my side room at the time, and played on my PS3 with that, and it was pretty cool. But I literally just played Wipeout in 3D.
Super Stardust was pretty cool on it as well.
I never played that in 3D. That's really good in VR as well, by the way.
Yeah. I was going to say that's what they have in common, is that I had a great snapshot with them, and then years later getting my headset and feeling like, I've got the experience now.
And both those companies started out as Amiga developers.
Yeah.
So with that, I do have one quick thing because I need to come back to it. Danny, you mentioned the Crystal Maze, and I have to tell a Richard O'Brien story.
Here we go.
So this would have been in the New Forest, I think. I went to a medieval fair when I was about 11 or 12. And Richard O'Brien was there, and
more things that happen if you grew up in Cambridge.
Oh, this isn't Hampshire, and so I would have been 11. No, it might have been 12 because I moved out there when I was 13. So I was either 11 or 12. Doesn't matter. Anyway, my brother and I just bought these wooden sword and shields, and obviously me being the older brother decides, let's just beat on my brother now. Because I have this massive wooden sword. So my brother's cowering underneath the shield and I'm just smacking away. And Richard O'Brien came along as he was walking by, like some competition thing was going on, picked up my brother's sword that was on the floor and was like, I shall protect your honor. And I had a sword fight with Richard O'Brien.
That's mad. That's one of the better ones. That's actually really cool, to be fair. Yeah. I did wonder where the story was going.
We're all surprised, Chris, but that one was cool. You can have that one.
Did you get locked in afterwards because it went on for 3 minutes? You get invited round for tea with Mumsy.
No, but he was in the next tour of Rocky Horror, and those are photos you don't want to see.
Crystal Maze was in
those.
Crystal Maze always had an accountant from Surrey that was the team captain every single time. Growing up watching this in Ireland, I always thought the accountants just came from Surrey. That's all I thought every single time. And they always had the fat guy who was there going, we're going to give him a physical game because he needs to lose weight.
That's it, yeah. It's a fiction factor, isn't it? There was an IT guy from Norwich. Always an IT guy from Norwich. Always, yeah.
So let's talk about our favourite game in the series, or games if you want to do plural. So we'll start with you this time, Danny. What's your favourite Wipeout game?
Oh God, this is hard, and I was just thinking about this. So I've got to own up to something. You're gonna hate me.
You don't like Wipeout?
It's high octane, I'm telling you.
I like Extreme G. I'm actually, the Wipeout book is sitting in front of me that I got last year, and yeah, so I absolutely love Wipeout. It's my favourite thing ever. I loved the first 3 games, including the special edition, so technically that's 4. Now you're going to hate me because I use the D-pad for every game on the PlayStation. I
think
have
we've
to
got to win there.
uniform it. Yeah, I have to uniform it. I have to use the D-pad. That's it. I can't use the analog. I can use the analog. I don't. I do it on purpose as a challenge. So I've mastered using the D-pad in all 3 games. So I've got a kind of a balance of all 3 games. I kind of know what turns coming up and how to use the air brakes, etc., etc. We didn't speak about air brakes. We could do an episode on air brakes. You know that. I'm probably going to go for. It's either going to be Wipeout 2097 or Wipeout 3. I'm going to go for Wipeout 3 because no, wait. Yep, I'm going to go for Wipeout 3. I'm just going to end it there.
Is that
I
your
love the other
final
games,
answer?
but it is because I like the See, 2097 is absolutely stunning. It's missing something, isn't it? It's missing one big thing in 2097 that would make that game perfect, and that
Analog
is a
steering.
champion. Yeah, well, that's a championship of some sort.
Yeah.
That game, if it had a championship, would be my favourite game from the series. It would be outstanding. But Wipeout 3 just takes that award because it has that system. Yeah, I'd say Wipeout 3 probably. Yeah.
Cool. Chris, what do you reckon?
So I think we'll go games in the sense that I've kind of got 2 because my first answer feels like cheating because it's the Omega Collection specifically in VR. Like that, the fact that that exists compared to me playing 2097 all those years ago, that's what I wanted that to be then. And I, in your young head, that's probably how I pictured it. It's like literally I'm sitting in this ship and that's the deal. So that's the honest answer. That's the one. But then I think if a favorite from a moment of time, it's probably 2048 because that's the first time I lived and breathed it. It's probably the only one I think I did everything and won all the cups and did all the grid stuff and everything on it. I think even on the PS3 and on a mega collection, I've only done it with like in silver or whatever, or I've turned the difficulty down. Whereas the Vita one, that was everything probably until I got Resogun on the TXK.
See, yeah. Baz, because I'll talk in a minute.
So I had a toss up between 2, and they're
What?
but what about the podcast?
Yeah, the podcast. Yeah, I know. If I say Vision now, that'll get me ejected, so I'm not going to say that, obviously.
Edit that, Chris. Edit that out.
I'm going to say Wipeout Pure. I think for the fact that it was the return to form after the misstep of Fusion. And to be honest, I think Wipeout 3, Pure, and 2048 are all about the same level for me. And I think if you ask me on a different day, I'll give you a different answer. But we've already talked about 3 and 2048. But Wipeout Pure, it was a cleaner aesthetic. It was a launch title for the PSP in Europe. Tim Wright back on the soundtrack. That soundtrack is superb. That track is one of his best, up there with Message and Kairodrome from the original. There was probably one controversial bit in Wipeout Pure, and we've not touched on it yet. It introduced
Was it the demos?
No, the barrel roll.
The barrel roll. Yeah.
So it took it away a wee bit from Pure Racing, and then you're sort of looking for those moments to try and do a barrel roll, which could almost make or break a time for it. Just really did jar with it a wee bit for me. But 2048, like Chris had already mentioned, I spent all my time on the Vita when it launched playing that. Like you, I'd been through all 3 campaigns, 48, 49, 50, unlocked all the stuff. When it came out in Omega, that was the first pack I went for. Probably because I'd played HD Fury, I'd played Pure and Pulse. But the Vita one, I was crying out for a big screen one. And to get 2048 to play through Omega on the big screen was fantastic. I know Pure I think Pulse got a PS2 release, which isn't very good. I think
No, it's a much worse version of Pulse.
I've not seen it to buy or anything. I just noticed it when I was trying to get some ROMs that I could put on my Steam Deck, and as I was refreshing myself for this, and as we were talking before the chat, and I think people should know, the Steam Deck is horrific for trying to play Wipeout on whichever version. The layout of the analog and the triggers and trying to double tap, I was not having fun. And especially when I had then attempted to play Fusion with it. The whole thing went out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Pulse,
as well, like,
Pulse is not good on the PS2. Same with that. Same thing happened with the MotorStorm Arctic Rift as well, which is awesome on PSP, but absolutely dreadful on PS2.
Obviously, the best MotorStorm game is RC on the Vita.
Yes.
There's a few games that didn't translate well from PSP to PS2. The Silent Hill Origins was absolutely astonishing on the PSP. I played it back through on PS2, and it was just kind of, just wasn't the same. Maybe because it's not close to your face. I don't know. I don't know, but it happens, I guess. Yeah.
For me though, my favourite is the only answer is Amiga Collection, just because it's got 3 incredible games in one. Well, 4 incredible games in one if you include the VR experience as well, and it's just phenomenal. And the fact that it runs at 4K, we're at 60 frames. And if you play it on the PS5 Pro, you can even boost it, so it's even better because it's got PS4 boosting on that one, which is great. But I still have a real soft spot for Pure and 2048 as well. Like you were saying, Baz, I really enjoy Pure. I put so much time into. Like I said, I played it for about a year, and then I did the same with 2048 as well. I played that like Chris and you, doing everything at first. And yeah, I just think that those games basically exist in the Amiga collection because Pure's in there as well. So it's for me it's the Amiga collection because it's just got everything.
And obviously where I established that picking that was cheating, obviously you didn't have a problem with ethics or anything, so you're fine.
No, I have no. I do feel sad that it wasn't made by Studio Liverpool, the Amiga collection, but they are working off of the base of the greatness that was already there from Studio Liverpool, and that's why I think it's my apps. There's no other version that I want to play. Do you know what I mean? I've gone back so many times to 2097 or Wipeout 3, Pure and Pulse, and I'm then drawn straight back to either playing the Vita version of 24 with HD and Fury, or going on and playing it on the PS4, PS5. It's just, but I do still play it. Like I play both versions like pretty much daily. Like if I'm sitting around doing nothing, I'd pick up my Vita quickly and just play some Wipeout. So yeah.
So I'm the only one that chose the original 3 then, or one of the original 3. That's the best one. I think a lot of it for me as well. It kind of, I sit there some evenings and I just go into the front room where the old CRT is and the PlayStation setup, and I have a can of cherry coke and a packet of Haribos, and I will sit on the floor and play Wipeout for 3 hours and give myself cramp. And I'll just get transported back to the age of 14, 15, 16 again, or a bit older. And I think that's nostalgia does play a big part in these games as well. I just feel comfortable. I feel comfortable playing the old games and just sitting on the floor like a kid. I don't know if anyone else does that still, or it's just me.
I mean, it's potentially something for your therapist. But but I mean, if not your support group, so I understand.
I understand.
It's just something to do, and I love doing it. It just takes me back, and I do it at least once a week. It's really sad, but I enjoy it.
I get it because I get that. I get the nostalgia through the latest version. Do you know what I mean? It still takes me back to being that 16-year-old standing in the nightclub with these headphones on, playing this game for the first time. Every time I play, even though it's not the same tracks or anything, it's still that thing of this is Wipeout.
Well, that was sort of what I was trying to get to. Even playing the latest one in VR, in my head, that's the experience I was having when I was 15.
When you was younger,
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's, I mean, it's quite common with 3D stuff that gets remade now, and like the good example is the Master Chief Collection of the Halo games. Like if you just play them as it loads up, it's like, oh yeah, this is just how I remember it. And then you press that back button to switch to the old graphics, and you're like,
this is nothing like I remember it, but hey,
Who's this stickle brick character walking around here?
And I mean, it's a real balance for them, isn't it, to match the thing of one, to recreate the game how your brain tells you it used to look, and then or to do the thing that's to try and be impressive today. I'm always in awe of that kind of stuff, but I think that's what we're getting at with Wipeout. It is, I am still getting the nostalgia, because playing the Omega Collection is very much giving me the same feeling as playing the old ones, but then I'm not playing with a D-pad, so maybe that's the difference.
I think as well the leap between Wipeout and 2097, with the fact it was a year apart, just roughly, that's an amazing leap in terms of that.
Oh, it's hugely.
You wouldn't get that in sequels now. It would take 3, 4, 5 years, to even have such a leap in that.
No.
Just amazing. 2097, like, it came out just as I was about to turn 18 as well, and it was like, oh, do I get that? Like, I think as Chris has alluded to already, that time in our formative years, you got a game at Christmas and a game at your birthday, and very special occasions. And I plumped for Die Hard trilogy at Christmas, but Wipeout 2097 was up there. But just with Die Hard being my favorite film, I went for that.
I mean, when I got, I think we touched it on the PlayStation episode, but when I got my PlayStation to play Tekken, I got it with the platinum version of Tekken and Die Hard trilogy. And as much as I mildly regretted it until I got a Saturn again, because I traded it in. It was still an incredible couple of games to have. I think your Christmas was still a solid one with making that choice.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's still one of my Christmas games, Die Hard trilogy. I'll still stick it into the PS3 at Christmas and have a go. Which I think it is a Christmas game.
I mean, certainly the Die Hard 2 moment.
Yes, Die Hard 2 especially is the one that I consider the Christmas one. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
With Christmas coming up, sorry, I'm just going to jump in. We need to do a Christmas episode. We need to think about that too. It's coming up quickly.
Yeah,
very quickly.
I'm not allowed to discuss Christmas at my work anymore, because last year I was asked, what's your favorite Christmas film? And when I suggested Seven and argued that it is a Christmas film because he gets a present at the end, and sat stony faced on the Zoom call for the rest of the call, everyone just said, "Don't ask him again. Do not ask him again."
Wasn't a great gift though, was it really?
No.
It was. It was.
So guys, we all love Wipeout. We all miss Wipeout. If I were to give you an unlimited budget to be able to make a new Wipeout, what would you add to the series that would make it different enough for it to be able to still be Wipeout, but give it a new appeal? So
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she could add a certain appeal, I guess, if you put her music in it, or have her as a pilot.
It's a hard question.
You had in all the celebrities in it as guest racers, and all the ones that you didn't like, and just spend the time just eliminating them all. So you can take out James Corden, Russell Brand, those guys.
Just
it's a
hard question. Yeah, because I don't know if the current generation, if we're trying to get 13-year-olds to buy a new Wipeout game for their PlayStation 5 or their Xbox Series S or X or whatever, how do you do that? Because that kind of thing just does not appeal to the younger gamer now, I believe. How would you do that?
So maybe that's why we need Taylor Swift.
Well, for me,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
here's my pitch. Right. So if Herman Hautz is out there listening, I doubt he is, but if he is, this is my pitch for a new Wipeout. So I want it to be. Do you remember Blur? Not the band, the video game Blur.
Yeah.
Yes.
By Bizarre, which I like to consider Wipeout Zero.
Yeah, I'll take it. Carry on.
Yep. So I'm thinking you start off racing like normal cars, but sort of futuristic cars that have still got wheels, but they still have the whole vehicular combat and things like that to begin with. You then progress through like a story mode in the game where you're going through the different rankings until you lead up to actually racing in the anti-grav vehicles.
Has it got Julie Andrews?
I don't think it would.
I was just wondering if it was like a chitty chitty bang bang vibe you were going for.
No, I was thinking more basically just merging Blur into Wipeout.
Okay,
but
fair.
I'll take it.
Right.
Have any of you played the Grid series?
Yes.
Yeah, played bits.
Yeah.
So you know how they have that whole thing where you start in different classes and you build up and as you get better, and you then get into the better vehicles and stuff like that. That sort of thing is what I want. That is how I would pitch a new Wipeout, where it's not just you're going in, you're choosing from a menu, doing that. It's more you are literally having to go through a career as an anti-grav racer and building up to it.
So almost
that
like
is
one
my
of those F1 story modes in the new one. So you would have it like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd put a story mode in as such because I think they're wanky. But I would like to just see it so you do see proper career progression, and the better you get at the things, you get into better vehicles. So you don't always you get selected like based on how you're doing for a team.
You see, I always thought that Wipeout 3 could have been a lot better if it was like Ridge Racer Type 4. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if you have a team, that's what I mean. If you have like the team thing, you get selected by a team rather than you choosing a team to begin with or a craft.
Yeah,
you get they choose you and want to sponsor you and things like that, and like you race, you get more money so that your team can like make your vehicles better and that sort of stuff.
And if you're dreadful, you get sacked and you end up managing Wraith Rovers.
Run call.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Wraith Rovers isn't too far from where I stay.
But that's
you can pop in and tell them I said it. My pitch, so because I've been thinking about it, because like the main thing, right? So I'd want the new VR. So you're talking the top end, and it needs to support them all because being locked into any of the walled gardens of VRs is a non-starter. But I want it to be so we get the best VR experience. And then what I kind of need is the audience to be there too, because I've had some great times playing, including actually I think on the Vita, but from HD onwards, playing multiplayer. Some of it with friends, some with randoms online. And I think the basis of what we have already, I'd like a bunch of new tracks and stuff because we've done the remaster of the old tracks enough. I'd still like them in there, but a properly developed ideally by the same people so that we don't lose anything in that, but a set of new tracks, but also with like perhaps some modern sensibilities for racing. There's all the thing that they do in the new Mario Kart, the knockout type races, those sorts of things are fun. But yeah, I think something built around that, and it's 2025, man. Give me 4-player split screen.
Yes. Yeah, no, I like it. Yeah, the thing is, I would really like it if Sony did what they're doing with like Everybody's Golf, things like that, and just license it out.
Yeah, ideally given a bit more,
a bit more budget than the yeah.
Did they play Pacer to come out in 2020?
Yeah, it's not great.
No, but
it's not.
It's
weird
something.
because but it's meant to. But it's from people who worked on Wipeout.
Yeah,
and it still has cold storage on the soundtrack and stuff, but it's not. It doesn't race as well as Wipeout at all.
You feel like you're playing it as somebody's giving it to you as a thing of, we can't have Wipeout, but here's what we've got at home.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Yeah,
I'm gonna go a controversial one. We don't make a new one. We leave it. The reason being, hear me out, right? I was a big fan of the Burnout series, and I play Dangerous Driving 2, and I think Danger Zone 2, and Dangerous Driving, and they were from the developers and Criterion. So Alex Ward done
Mhm.
that, and
Yeah.
it played very much like one of those Midas PS1 games, but on the PS4. It was so poor that,
Yeah, their new
you know,
one's coming out soon, isn't it? Recreation.
and that looks really dodgy as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in order for it to live up, because like Wipeout was the pinnacle of PlayStation 1 in terms of that
Mhm.
race and that genre. Dropped the ball with Fusion, and then it became the portable handheld game of choice.
Yep.
The pure 2040 Wipeout Pulse. Then we've got the Omega Collection, which is built on. I don't think we can go any further. I really don't think,
I tell
other
you,
than new
I
tracks.
think
I would just like more
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I would, but also I would say if we do that and we freeze it in time, I think what we want is for a commitment that it remains playable. Whatever my next generation is, I want it still on there, and I'll just keep playing it as it is. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And ideally,
think,
I'd support for your new headset.
Oh god, yeah,
I-
man! If they could just make it backwards compatible, like the VR2 and VR, oh, it'd
yeah.
be so
If
good.
I got it out VR2 and I had to pay for it, I'd still pay for it.
Yeah, yeah. If they gave it like an upgrade path or something
Yeah.
for like $9.99 or something
But
like
as we're
that. Yeah.
saying, not doing that and not even having it available is a significant reason why I never bought the one that I was going to pre-order.
Yeah.
I mean, it's who wants to touch it and who wants to actually make the game as well. That's one of the issues. If you take Destruction Derby, Psychonosis as well,
Mhm.
that kind of genre wasn't really touched at all until Wreckfest came out, and I thought Wreckfest was going to be an absolute pile of crap. It turns out I still play it. It's fun.
Yeah, Breakfast is really
Um,
good.
Yeah, it's really good. There's a second one on its way out. It's out. I don't know. I've not played it yet. So whoever works on it needs to understand the lore behind the game anyway.
Yeah.
So they need to understand what people want. And one of the other things that I would probably include 100%, it's all basic, is that you can just extend your races to like 50 laps or something instead of just 3, 4, 5. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
one
With
thing I
pit
thought
stops
HD
and stuff.
and Fury. Yeah, with pit stops, yeah, you can choose weapons and you basically like a Le Mans but Wipeout. I wanted
I
Wipeout
don't think I'd
HD
be able to do
Fury
that
to
for
have
long in
that.
VR though. I think I would be fucking
Yeah,
sick.
passed out. But
Yeah.
yeah, just track times. Just laps. Sorry, just longer laps. You can have as many as you want. That'd be amazing. You could just sit there
I'd
and just
like it if
drift
they did
around.
a mode where you could actually make your own tracks as well.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
If we continue this
Yeah.
down the line we're on to Wipeout Horizon.
I don't want it to go open world.
No,
No.
there's,
What
I
about
don't either, but there is still a bit of me picturing thrashing around Cyberpunk's world.
Yeah. Yeah, you can actually get
what
out your
about
vehicle and
Yeah.
go and rob a shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can
what
have a
about
girlfriend in it
integrating?
or boyfriend, whatever. Yeah.
Do you remember the mechanic in Split Second, where you could like
Oh
set off
yeah.
like bomb, something
Yeah.
like that with the tracks? You could fire a missile to open up paths. Things like
Yeah.
That
that.
would be
They could,
cool, yeah.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I mean there are things that they could do, which I would love to see someone go out and do. If I won one of the big lottery wins on a Friday when the Euro Millions rolls over to like 120 million. If I won that, I would use a lot of that money to make a new Wipeout. Literally
Don't
go
forget,
through, go to
it
someone and say,
appeared on
look,
the
I
Xbox,
license
didn't
this.
it? Not so long ago. Someone put Wipeout on the Xbox. On the
Yeah, unofficially. That's the same with
yeah,
Ridge Racer, because they put an unofficial version of Ridge
yeah,
Racer on as well.
yeah.
But there is also a Dreamcast version, isn't there, of Wipeout 2097 now. That was
Yes.
fan made.
Oh, is that like a
supposed to be-
proper port rather than one of the discs that was patched into the Bleemcast
Yeah,
thing?
it's a proper port, yeah, and it's
Yeah.
really good. I played it on PC though, so not on Dreamcast, but it's really good. But I played it on a Dreamcast emulator on PC, but it's really good. But yeah, so I think that is it for Wipeout. And this
Sadly,
show, sadly,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, we were speaking so lovingly for so long, and now it's just oh yeah, it's dead. Yes,
the PlayStation
these things
story
happen.
continues.
Yeah, PlayStation without Wipeout just doesn't feel right.
No.
Like, it's like having a Nintendo without Mario. It's so weird.
And we can dream.
We can dream, because the PlayStation 5 is the first PlayStation without a Wipeout.
Yeah.
If they release a Wipeout, I will go and buy a PlayStation 5 tomorrow, just for Wipeout.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you are going to save yourself some money, my friend, because that ain't happening.
I know.
But yeah, it is sad that this game, this series, cultivated such an audience, especially like I was saying in Europe.
There's at least 4 of us.
People yeah, there are dozens of us, dozens. But it's this thing that it is something that was very, very heavily linked to PlayStation. When you say PlayStation, the first game I think of is Wipeout. Yeah. It's what I see when I see a PlayStation. I see Wipeout, like when I'm talking about the original PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's just that whole thing. I just associate the brand of PlayStation with Wipeout the same way I do Mario and Nintendo, Sega and Sonic, and Master Chief and the Xbox, or the paperclip and Windows. It's
yeah.
I think that's like partly why I don't really know what my PS5 is.
Yeah, I don't. It's the weirdest thing having, because I do like it. I do play it a lot.
That's the same, and I've played a few big titles on it, but mostly I play PS4 stuff on it.
Yeah, me too. I play my PS4 library on it, and the thing is, I mostly play Wipeout. I literally play Wipeout on my PS5 nearly all the time. But one thing I want to shout out as well for Wipeout. It does the remote play really well, like from Amiga Collection onto to the Vita. So you can run it at 60 frames on the Vita rather than at 30, like it is if you play the native version. But it does it so that because you use the R2 and L2, it just maps them automatically to the 2 buttons.
Oh, okay.
To the L and R.
What's funny is I could probably do it to my Steam Deck and play with the worst controls known to man.
But it's annoying though, because when you play it on the Portal, on the PlayStation Portal, it does that mapping that it would do to the Vita, because it goes, I'm in remote play.
Oh, I see.
And then it puts it on the R1 and L1. But then I don't know, I can't figure out which button it is to turn around when I'm playing, like when I'm playing on Fury. I don't know how to turn around. What's the button? Because you just tap the screen on the Vita, but that doesn't work on the remote play on the PS5, because the screen isn't it replaces the touchpad. So, and the touchpad isn't used on Wipeout Amiga Collection. So it's like,
I know.
I don't know. I don't know which button it is. I've been pressing them all, and I'm like, oh, God, I don't know how to turn around. How do I quake all these fuckers behind me? On the Vita, I know I can just touch the touchscreen, but on the Portal, this thing that's designed to be a proper controller, I'm like, no, I can't figure this out. It's same way that I could live to 100 and never find where the on and off button is for the PS4 Pro.
Has anyone ever driven down the motorway and just thought, I wish I could use a Quake Disruptor right now?
Every day. I think that a lot when I see school children. I think what a great thing, isn't it?
It's like, no, I don't drive, but I cycle everywhere, and I could do with those 3 missiles.
Yeah. Oh, let's do a quick one before we go. Our favourite weapon and our least favourite weapon. Chris.
I mean, I feel like, again, I'm going to say that the Quake is cheating because it's one of the best weapons in any game ever. But I really like the triple missile. That's hence me bringing it up. But it's one of my favourite things. And my least favourite is probably the machine gun, because it's incredibly helpful, apart from my awful aim with it at every single opportunity. I feel like I waste it.
We would actually say exactly the same things again on that, so I'm not going to bother. Baz.
I would say probably the least favourite would be the turbo when they were in, because you couldn't drop a weapon. you had to stick with it. If you remember in Wipeout, there was no way of
Oh
getting rid of
yeah.
it, which was really irritating. It was almost like, yeah, you got a turbo. If you had mines or shockwaves or anything like that, you could at least get rid of it. But
Yeah.
when you had turbo, you're like, I've got to wait for the right moment to get rid of it. So probably,
I need to be on a straight.
yeah, and then hope. So like the Quake Disruptor would be one. The triple rocket was a classic one. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
One that was very satisfying when you managed to pull it off was the plasma bolt in 2097.
Oh
When
yeah.
you did
Yeah.
hit, and you had that contender destroyed.
Oh yeah, basically won it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was probably my favorite one.
Danny.
It's either going to be the leech theme, you know, the energy drain, or
Oh, you're one of them guys. Yeah.
I am. Yeah, I like it.
I hate that online.
Just,
I hate it so
Yeah,
much.
same.
I like leaving mines and like 2 minutes later you just hear someone's crashed out and it makes me laugh. Yeah.
My favorite
So-
thing with the mines is the people that leave them and then hit them on the next lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, it's just the banana in Super Mario
like
Kart.
Wile E. Coyote or something like that. In a road.
You think you're doing well, you just smash into your own weapons.
Yeah.
Crap. Yeah. Oh, I want to go and play Wipeout.
I think we should all go and play Wipeout. So I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Baz, thank you.
Welcome.
Danny, thank you. Chris,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for those of you who wrote in. It was very good to have some actual feedback for a change, because usually you guys listening are shit at that.
That's the way we're going to encourage more of the thing. What we'll do is
I'm a stick, not a carrot guy.
Yeah.
So,
I've heard that.
Yeah. It's a kink. What can I say? But yes, thank you very much, guys. Hope you enjoyed listening to this Wipeout episode, and we will catch you next time.